All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Steelers reporting for training camp as the season is damn near here, ladies and gentlemen. We have almost made it. Let's get some early gunshots for that. If you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. And once again, let's get a shout out because the regular season, man, it is so close, bro. I'm skipping steps here. We got to get to the preseason first. We got to get to this and we got to get to that. But today is the day that players have shown up to Latrobe. Players have shown up to St. Vincent's College. And we're going to get shit underway, and there's so much to talk about. There's going to be, story after story, clip after clip that's going to start coming out in these next couple of days here, these next couple of weeks. And before we really get into it, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all of my viewers out there, all of my subscribers. I got low disk space, man. You guys see what I'm going through live on the fly. I got no memory on my computer because all I'm doing is making videos yapping about the Steelers. But I want to give a shout out to you guys first of all, right? So I thank every subscriber I have. I thank all of you guys for clicking on my videos and, talking about the Steelers with me because, the Steelers, we're a big family. We're a big community. And, every time this team fucking lets us down, man, we can bitch and moan to each other, bro. Because, this team has put us through so many late nights, so many early mornings, so many arguments, so many debates. Like, it's just really a thing, and you got to be a Steelers fan to really understand it. And so, once again, I thank you guys. But then the next thank you is going to all of the Steelers reporters, all of the people who are actually on site at this camp, not only reporters, but fans as well, people who live in the area as well and go to travel out. Because I'm not going to lie, they posted on Twitter, like, I am going to use some of these videos, man, because I am a fan just like you guys out there. I'm a fan just like you watching it, and I just want to show you guys what I'm seeing. And so, once again, I really do thank everybody who is, out here on site, really, getting these videos for us. Remember last year, we had the George Pickens versus Joey Porter Jr., and, like, George Pickens had that crazy-ass catch. I want to say it was I think it was, like, Minkaberg or something like that. Somebody like that who posted that video. Yeah, you guys are just awesome, man. Like, honestly, I wish I could be out there. I wish I was, like, in the area for it. I wish I didn't have to go to fucking work today, type shit. But, once again, I want to give a shout out to all of you guys. And like I said, there is a lot to talk about because today is day one, right? Today is day one, and so we don't really officially know anything that's going to happen. We don't really know exactly, the ins and outs of it all, but we are going to see it. We're going to see things like who our actual offensive line is. Let's start with that because a lot of the talks, we already know it's going to be Zach Frazier at center because we literally have no center. And then the guard spots is probably going to be James Daniels and Isaac Samalu. And then the tackles is going to be Broderick Jones and Troy Fatanu, right? That's what we think is going to happen. That's what, the on paper predicted. Steelers fans, we know more than the GM, than the coach. We know more than them sometimes, right? So, like, that is on paper what it should be. However, last year, we already know what happened. Big old Dan Moore out there, man. Did Dan Moore come back with revenge, bro? Is Dan Moore going to be out there in that left tackle or that right tackle spot, even though we've used two now first-round picks on a tackle, and we're still out here with Dan Moore? I don't know, man. We will see, and honestly, that's kind of a setup, too, on my part for even mentioning Dan Moore out there in the starting lineup just for him to get slandered. Because remember last year what happened? We had Broderick Jones out there. We had Dan Moore out there for Broderick Jones, and not too much on Dan Moore, but you guys know how that went. And, like, we were like, yo, where is Broderick Jones? We didn't start Joey Porter Jr. for a minute. We were like, yo, where's Joey Porter Jr. at? So stories like that, things like that are going to be the kind of the talks of everything. And something I did want to talk about early on here is I think I have it up, is Russell Wilson, man. Let's look at Russell Wilson arriving at Steelers camp. Doesn't he look so inspirational? Shout out to Portersburg for this video. He has like some graphics, Steelers graphic t-shirt on. He looks inspirational. Something I want to get off my chest first, right? Because we already know what's going to happen. We already know how this is going to go, man. Russell Wilson is our quarterback one. Let's get a gunshot for that. Russell Wilson is our quarterback one, as said by Portersburg, as said by me, as said by everybody, as said by the Steelers when we signed him, when we told Kenny Pickett, hey, man, like, you had your chance, but it's over, bro. Like, it's Russell Wilson time. On paper, he is the quarterback one. And really, this isn't a debate. It really shouldn't be a debate. However, with these training camp processes, with the videos that are going to come out, man, if Russell Wilson throws one interception and Justin Fields throws one good throw, it's going to spark something. It is going to spark a debate between the fans. Should Justin Fields actually be quarterback one and Russell Wilson be the backup, Like, all of that stuff is going to happen throughout the Steelers media, throughout the Steelers fans. And, I'm gonna for sure partake. I'm gonna get my shit off too. But we all know it should be Russell Wilson because he's very underrated, man. I have made video after video after video about how his play has been kind of downgraded. His play has been kind of negative. Like they've been talking about his play like it's so bad. And even if it's not, prime Russell Wilson, even if it's not like exactly where we need our franchise quarterback to be today, right now, he still can give us some good football. You know what I mean? And so I think Russell Wilson, we got to give this guy a chance. And it seems like we are. It seems like the Steelers organization, we're giving him a chance. It seems like the fans, were giving him a chance, right? But this isn't, it's not a debate. It's really not a debate. That's what I want to get it off. Like, it's not a debate unless, Russell Wilson is just, not throwing ducks out there, no pun intended. Shout out to Duck Hodges, man. Unless Russell Wilson is throwing some ducks out there and Justin Fields is absolutely throwing some ropes or some shit like that, or like, the option game is crazy. Like, unless it is like literally dumbfounded, unless like you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it is a threat to democracy that Justin Fields doesn't play, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's that, it's gonna be Russell Wilson, and I'm happy with that. And like, that is the plan, that is the cook all along. And we just hope Justin Fields can also at the same time grow with Russell Wilson. We've seen the pictures that come out, or we've seen the picture that came out of them like working out together in, I don't know, wherever the fuck they work out. I don't know, like Wisconsin or some shit, wherever the hell Russell Wilson gets his shit off, bro. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they were training together. They seem like they have a good relationship, but also in the same breath, these guys are both competitive athletes. These guys both at one point, especially Russell Wilson, this dude in the NFL has been him. You know what I mean? Like, this dude literally at the highest of level has been at the highest of level, Justin Fields, he's had his moments in the NFL, but really we're talking about, shining in college, probably shining in high school, probably shining in middle school, probably shining in elementary school, probably shining when he got out of the womb. He probably came out with a football. He is used to being that guy. You know what I mean? He is used to being unquestionable, undoubtable, the best player on his team, just like every single player in the NFL. If you make the NFL, at one point you were him for your team. And so Justin Fields is going to be probably a little new to him, but I think he understands. I think he knows, he understands the situation. It's Russell Wilson, man. He probably watched Russell Wilson growing up. Like, it just is what it is. So we just got to hope that he can stay down, he can stay ready. And we might need him this year, man. We might need him this year because Russ is a little up there. We're in the big AFC North football. You never know what could happen, Like, and so Justin Fields, we need him to be ready. But in the same breath, too, we cannot quarterback battle this, man. We cannot be like, man, who's it gonna be? Click for your answer for our starting quarterback, and it's like a poll, and then Justin Fields, like, imagine he's just dominating the poll, and our guy Russell Wilson, he's seeing the poll, he's like, oh, that's how they feel about me. I'm damn near playing for free here because Denver's paying me all the money. Like, damn, I got really no connections to here, and that's how you'll feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be doing that, even though it is probably going to come. And like I said, in these next couple of days here, in these next couple of weeks, we're going to get so much footage. We're going to get so many hints at this offense. And something too I wanted to talk about is, how are we going to use, or how is this new offensive system with Arthur Smith going to look different than the Matt Canada system? Like, what changes are we going to Are we going to abandon the jet sweep, or are we going to double down on the jet sweep? Arthur Smith, I don't know, just because, I'm a fan, man. I'm not trying to be this reporter, but Arthur Smith seems like a jet sweep kind of guy, man. Like, I don't think we exactly got rid of it. We just got to hope that his jet sweeps work better than Matt Canada's jet sweeps. We just got to hope that his timing on play calls works better than Matt Canada's timing on play calls. And with this whole revamped offense, we got a whole revamped offensive line. Quarterback situation is different. Our offensive coordinator is different. We just got to hope, man. We just got to hope that, we're cooking. And I really do think we're cooking. I've been thinking that we were cooking this whole offseason process. I've been very excited to see this team hit the field because I know, just like you guys know out there, we're slept on and we are going to be good. We are going to be elite, and nobody believes us. Nobody believes in us. Nobody thinks that we're going to literally win the AFC North. Once again, every single day, it's some new prediction about how the AFC North is going to go, how the NFL season is going to go, and where are the Steelers at? We're in last place in the AFC North, when literally it has never happened once, bro. It has never happened once, and we take it. We read the disrespect. I'm sure the players have seen the disrespect. We take it and we move on, but we know at the end of the day, we are going to finish at least second place in the AFC North, ladies and gentlemen. And if we're in third place, guess what? We'll be in third place, but we're still hitting the wild card round. We're still hitting the playoffs because that's just what it is, man. We're AFC North football. All of our teams are good, including the Browns, even though, it's the Browns, whatever. Like, they're good, though. You know what I mean? Like, we're all good in this division. But at the end of the day, there can only be one king. There can only be one division winner. There can only be one at least second place winner, even though, there's two teams. There can only be one, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are for sure one of those teams. So I mentioned the offense, right? And I mentioned all of the changes that are going to potentially be coming with Arthur Smith, with Russell Wilson, with all these new pieces, right? And Nick Farbaugh has this quote from Russell Wilson. He said, Russell Wilson praised his wide receiver and tight end room. Did find one part of his analysis in the rooms interesting. He said that he wants to get Darnell Washington the ball more. I guess we'll see on that, but something to note. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have been subscribed to this channel for a little bit, how many fucking times have I said just throw the ball to Darnell Washington? I do not care if maybe he can't get the separation. I do not care if, maybe his route running is not the greatest. I do not care, bro. Throw the fucking ball up to Darnell Washington, especially if we are in the red zone, man. Like, he is going to get a touchdown. He is going to come up with it. And Russell Wilson, too. Big leader Russell Wilson. What have we been talking about? What have I been talking about? I've been guilty of it. I know. I'm a big Brandon Ayuk thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? I might put Brandon Ayuk on this thumbnail. Fuck it. You know what I mean? He showed up. He didn't. But, I've been a heavy proponent of it. I've been a heavy proponent of, like, hey, maybe we should get another weapon. Russell Wilson immediately, Mr. Unlimited, the Danger Witch, he comes in and he's like, yo, we got a stacked wide receiver room and we got a stacked tight end room, man. Like, we got some weapons on this team, and it's true. We do got some weapons, and that should inspire the team. That should inspire the players. That should inspire the Calvin Austins, the Quez Watkins, the Roman Wilsons, the George Pickens, the Mutes, the Washingtons, the Haywards. You know what I'm saying? That really does. It really should inspire them because our quarterback, our starting quarterback, believes in you. Even though our media doesn't. Even though our fans don't. Even though Zaya and the Steelers has made another video about Brandon Ayuk. Russell Wilson believes in you, and that's your quarterback, and that's all that matters. And it is true, man. Like, and even though, like, I'm kind of shitting on myself here, I'm giving myself too much, flack for it because I do make the Brandon Ayuk videos. I want us to trade for Brandon Ayuk. But at the same time, I have constantly said, not too much on Quez Watkins, man. Not too much on Cordero Patterson, man. Not too much on Calvin Austin, man. Not too much on Roman Wilson, man. I done seen, myself included, I done seen account after account, post after post, media pundit after media pundit call out this wide receiver room and tight end room, like, by association. And it's like, bro, y'all are sleeping, man. Like, we take these players for a reason. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers who literally can find a great wide receiver at the Family Dollar. We can literally find a great wide receiver at a hockey game. You know what I mean? So, like the fact that we have Calvin and Roman still, the fact that they're still on the team, that's a good sign. That is a sign of, like, yo, these guys are legit. They just need the opportunity. We've had literally the worst offensive coordinator coupled with some of the worst quarterback play to ever hit the streets in the last 2 to 3 years. Like, let's not give up on these guys just yet. Because, now we have a chance. Now we have a real chance for these guys to do something. You know what I mean? Let's not shell the house. Let's not sell the house on Brandon Ayuk because we still got to see what these receivers can be. And I've mentioned, if we get Brandon Ayuk that excels the expectations, that pretty much puts a bow tie on the team, right? But even if we don't, I still think we're going to be pretty good this year. I think we're going to be underrated this year. And then the next draft, depending on what happens with quarterback, who's to say we don't go out and just get a first-round wide receiver, man? Because as we mentioned, the Steelers we're very good at picking up wide receivers. We're very good at getting other players. Like, what if we actually use our first-round pick on a receiver versus, like, a second versus, like, a later-round pick, and, like, we try to find these gems? What if we're just like, fuck it. Give us the best receiver in college right now. We could we really could do that at this, like, in the same breath of us winning at the same time, too. We could get a first-round wide receiver next year, and it's just like, bang, we did it, and we didn't have to trade that pick because we used the pick, and we get to keep our cap. We get to kind of propel, we get to kind of, like, push everything back with when we got to pay the guy, because Brandon Ayuk, he's going to come in, he's going to immediately want to get paid, We get to kind of push that back. We get to kind of maybe move that money on the quarterback situation because both Russ and Justin Fields are both not going to be here on contract next year. So maybe we give them a deal. Maybe we give, George Pickens. We talked about him. If we get Brandon Ayuk, we can't give George Pickens a deal. Maybe we give George Pickens a deal and we kind of, reset it. If we get a wide receiver next year in the draft, that is something that could very well happen. And as far as this season goes, because that's what it's all about, man. I've made video after video talking about our future maybe, but like the point is, the reason why I wanted to trade for Brandon Ayuk, I feel like I'm teeter and totter and I'm flipping and flopping. I'm good and I'm bad. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I want Brandon Ayuk is because this season, man, like, we are going to be a great team this season. The future is the future. What we're going to do with our picks, what we're going to do with our contracts is the future. But right now, today, man, we have a great chance to compete. And whether we get Brandon Ayuk, whether we don't get Brandon Ayuk, I still think we have a great chance to compete. We still have a great chance. Like, I think personally, right? I've praised us a lot. I've been biased a lot about the Steelers, but, like, I genuinely think we could at least hit the AFC Championship this year. That is at least because, you know, we're probably going to be a wild card team unless we just absolutely dominate this season. But we're probably going to be a wild card team, and we haven't won one playoff game in a minute. But I legit can see us winning 2 playoff games this year, because outside of the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Outside of the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't give a fuck what you guys say. I think the Steelers can beat some of these teams. Not to say that we're better today, not to say that, you know, we're this and we're that, but like past the Kansas City Chiefs, if you want me to say like, oh, we're going to lose to the Jets, like we got no chance to beat the Jets. Like, you're crazy, bro. Like, oh, we got no chance to beat the Texans. Like, I get it. They blew us out last year, but like, we got no chance, absolutely nothing. You know, we tie it back to we need a prayer. Like, we got to pray to God that we beat the Texans. I just don't think that's like legit. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that that's where we are. I think we're way better than that. And so even if on paper we're not better, even if, you know, we'll see how it goes, even if we're not technically better, I'm not shaking in my boots. Ooh, like, I'm not scared of any other team. And I'm really, you know, fuck it, man. I'm not even really scared of the Kansas City Chiefs. I just want me to have some credibility. You know what I mean? I just want me to have, you know, a little bit of like unbiased talk. Like, so I'll give the Chiefs that, you know, whatever. Like, maybe we won't beat them, but any other team in the AFC, I think we have a real chance, especially too. We talk about the AFC North. I've done this over and over. Baltimore can't fucking beat us. Cleveland, we went 1-1 in the second game last year. If we had a pulse of offense, we would have swept them. And the Bengals, I don't know, man. Like, I think you guys are falling off. I think the Bengals, they had their window and they let it go. They missed their window. And, you know, it's only going to be downhill from here. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe they come back. Maybe big Jamar Chase and big, you know, Eminem, a.k.a. Joe Burrow, a.k.a. Slim Shady, a.k.a. Joe Burr, a.k.a. Joe Burrow, but it's an X at the end, a.k.a. Mr. Cool, a.k.a. better than Lamar Jackson, a.k.a. better than Tom Brady, a.k.a. you know, went on one little run, a.k.a. you know, that guy. Maybe he's him still. Maybe he still has it going. But I really think they're falling off. And then there's us. Who we're on the rise, man. We are on the rise. We've played our worst football already. And, you know, knocking on wood, knocking on the hardwood floor down there. I'll try to get it. You know, I can't reach. But knocking on wood, how can it be worse than, and it very well can, but how can it be worse than some of the offense we've seen? Like, if we were able to get 9 to 10 wins with that offense, with how bad we've been, there is no way we're not going to get more with this team, man. It's impossible. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we've played our worst football, and now we're going to be at the end. The Bengals, they've been playing their very best football. The Ravens, they've been playing their very best football. The Browns, they've been playing their very best football. They hit the playoffs last year without their quarterback or their running back. Shout out to them for that. But, like, you know what I'm saying? They used it, man. They've squeezed all the ink out already. You can't keep writing on a pen that doesn't have ink. You're just going to scratch the fucking paper. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. And all the ink is already out for these teams. And our ink, we're still locked and loaded, ladies and gentlemen. We got all the ink left in our pen, man. Yeah, man. So I think we have a way better chance than like what people say. And I kind of, you know, I do this every single time. I just rant. But in conclusion, our wide receiver and tight end room is slept on, and Darnell Washington should get the ball more, man. What else do we got here? We got, what I sleep on is a nice little bed. What y'all sleep on is big Russell Wilson, bruh. Like, you guys, like, and, oh, man. I've made video after video, tweet after tweet, post after post, short after short. Shout out to the Shorts audience. Shout out to the TikTok audience. Go follow my TikTok if you guys give a fuck. Maybe I'll link it. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all you guys. You guys have no, like, this is Russell Wilson, man. Like, I am so excited to watch this guy play football for us, man. Like, this is my guy. This is like, man, I was like 12 years old, turned on ESPN at what was it, 6 in the morning? What was the lineup at 6 in the morning? You used to have Mike and Mike on TV. You used to have, you know, normal Sports Center top 10, and that would roll into First Take, you know, man, and damn, I got to make a whole nother video, but First Take, shout out to Skip Bayless. Like, he's done, and I know a lot of people hate Skip Bayless, but he's pretty responsible for, like, why I'm even making these videos today. So shout out to Skip Bayless, random ass sub point there. But I just remember turning on the ESPN, and this guy, Russell Wilson, this backup guy, this second string, he had to rise to fame. Like, yo, he's dominating this same process that we're in now, this same process. Russell Wilson came into this in his rookie year and fucking dominated and took out Matt Hasselbeck or whatever the Seattle Seahawks quarterback was. He absolutely overtook them. You know what I mean? And like, so and then I watched him win a Super Bowl. I watched him go to another one. I watched him kind of flame out in Seattle and then go to Denver, and like everyone was hyping. I watched him flame out there. Like, this is a guy who I've been invested in for a while. Like, we look at the players now, like I'm damn near 25. I'm pushing 30, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pushing 30, and all these players in the league have only been here for like fucking 2-3 seasons. Like I don't know these dudes. Like we're in the same school, but I don't know them. You know what I mean? But I know Russell Wilson. This has been my guy forever. And the fact he's in that black and gold, and then I gotta go on Twitter, I gotta go on TikTok, I gotta go on fucking social media, I gotta go on TV. People are like, oh, you know, the Steelers, like if they're a quarterback away, and like we still got Russell Wilson, they're a quarterback away if Russell Wilson can play. Like, bro, you guys are full of shit, man. You guys are really full of shit. And Russell Wilson, he's gonna silence the doubters. And if not, whatever, man, because I told you guys Kenny Pickett was gonna silence the doubters, and what did he do? He didn't. But we really, guess what? We're still making videos. I got a Kenny Pickett jersey, man, and I did not let that affect me, man. We're still here. And if Russell Wilson doesn't work, we move to Justin Fields, ladies and gentlemen. If Justin Fields doesn't work, we move to, who do we got? I think we got Ben DiNucci, man. We move on to Ben DiNucci if none of these guys work, man, because that's just what we do. We just keep it rolling, and I'm going to support my players, and right now I'm supporting Russell Wilson. So, yeah, y'all are sleeping on Russ. All of that to say, y'all are sleeping on Russ. Next up, as you can see, big Najee Harris in the building. Big Najee Harris arriving for camp. Everybody's favorite running back. Look how fucking ripped this guy looks. No sleeves, got to show off the guns. Big gunshot for the guns. Not using the stairs, walking straight on the grass. Fuck the lawn. You're going into the Rooney. This is that guy, man. I fuck with Najee Harris, bro. I've said what I've had to say about Najee. I've said, maybe he's not the greatest running back ever. Maybe, he just doesn't move the needle for me. But as far as like just a Steeler, as far as a locker room guy, as far as supporting rap with a Ready to Die album shirt on, shout out to Biggie Smalls, Big New York. Like as far as that, like Najee Harris, also a West Coast guy, him wearing a big, hey man, you know what I'm saying? That's just what we do out here in New York, man. But I fuck with Najee Harris, the person and the leader in the locker room presence. Like this is a guy who I always want on the Steelers, man. It just so happens that I seen us rushing. The offensive line can be blamed for this. Matt Canada can be blamed for this. But I just kept seeing over and over and over us fucking rush 1 yard here, 2 yards here, punt. You know what I'm saying? Like I just kept seeing that. And then I see Jalen Warren come in 8 yards, 8 yards, 8 yards. And it's like, Najee, why is he still in? You know what I'm saying? Like that is my only gripe. But other than that, I fuck with Najee Harris so much. And the fact, and you guys know me, if you guys been watching my videos, you guys know how I am. I can have my takes, right? I can have, my little takes. But once I see other people saying it, once I see hella people like, oh, Najee sucks, and then I see other, like, fucking Green Bay Packer fans with their Aaron Jones, he's not even there anymore, but just let me cook, doing the Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon running back room, having anything to say about Najee Harris. I'm like, have y'all seen your team? You know what I mean? Have y'all seen your running back room? Like, the Bengals with Joe Mixon, Joe, like, are you kidding me? You're sitting here talking about Najee Harris. Najee Harris is better. Najee Harris is like literally a top 10 running back in the league right now, bro. How do I know that? I fucking don't. But big trust in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Any Pittsburgh Steeler is a top 10 player in the league right now. At any position, we got a top 10 player. You know what I mean? And so Najee Harris, I'm excited to see him play. I don't give a fuck about this contract thing because you know what I'm saying? As I said in the beginning of the video, it is about this season, bro. This one season. He can go get a big deal somewhere else. He can go get a big deal here in Pittsburgh. But at the end of the day, we still have him under contract for this year, and he has a lot to play for this year because you know why? We didn't give out the 5th-year option. Running backs don't typically like reset the market. They don't get paid crazy. I mean, Najee hasn't had any crazy injury. I can see Najee getting a pretty big contract, even though I'm saying all this. But you guys know the running back market. You know how spooky it can get. You know what I mean? If Najee Harris, if he doesn't have a big year this year, and the Steelers were a team that were like, nah, we're good. Like maybe other teams will be like, we're good. And we have a stacked offensive line now. And we had like, that's what I'm like, Najee Harris has a great opportunity this year to really show people like, hey, I am him. And he's already done it 3 straight times, I think, with 1,000 yards. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Najee Harris has never not had 1,000 yards. He's already done it before, but this year I think it can really be crazy. I think it can really be different. And like I said, he has a lot to play for this year, man. He has a lot to show. So shout out to Najee Harris. Next up, Troy Fautanu, our first round pick, big Troy Fautanu, man. I don't think I've talked about Troy Fautanu that much, and that probably falls into the fact that he's an offensive lineman. He's like an offensive tackle. I think this is a guy that can really, like, transform our line. This is a guy that can really get Dan Moore off the field. No offense to Dan Moore, but you know what I'm saying? He is somebody who in the pre-draft process, in like the mock draft, he was going early. He was going hella early, and then he falls to us, man. Like, I am excited to watch him play. I'm excited for him to move the needle. And on top of that, too, he specifically brought his guitar for the team's annual rookie showcase in preparation that he might have to sing. This dude can play the fucking guitar, man. I can't even play NCAA 25 on varsity difficulty because I'm throwing interceptions. And this guy can play the guitar and play in the NFL, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all just have our talents. We all have our things that we can do. And I'm very excited to see Troy Fautanu out there, our new starting right tackle, because Broderick Jones is going to go back to the left side and all is going to be whole again. You know what I mean? Next up, we got an Andrew Filipponi. Shout out to Andrew Filipponi, friend of the show, even though he doesn't know about the show, but he's a friend of the show still. I keep hearing that a Pat Freiermuth extension could be done by the end of the week. Both sides want to make a deal. Feels like a what is this, Greek? What is this, Roman? What the heck? Can you guys even see that? What word is it? Accomplishment? ACC? Pitt 2021? ACC champions? Pitt 2024? ACC? Is that what he's saying? I don't know. But maybe we get a deal done with Muth. I like Muth. Muth in the same breath as Najee Harris. Like, once other people say bad shit about Muth, I'm like, man, y'all are sleeping on Muth. But when it's just me alone in my room, I'm thinking to myself, he's all right. You know, he's okay. I like Muth. You know what I mean? So if we get a deal done with him, that's cool. I fuck with Muth, and so I would like to see that. And once again, it's all about the vibes of this year. We can just, whatever it takes, like, that's what I was saying too. We should have just got Najee under the extension, and then, like, if we wanted to get rid of him, man, we can just get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with Cameron Hayward. Pay the guy, and if it doesn't end up being worth it, you know, we'll deal with that later. But right now, we got a real window. We got a real chance to get some shit done. And so if players like Muth, if they want a contract extension, if that is gonna, you know, muddy the locker room, if that is gonna be a distraction, if that is gonna be this, if that is gonna be that, then, you know, fuck it. Like let's get it done now, and then we'll worry about it later. And so if he wants a deal, let's get a deal done with Muth, because he is Muth, man. He Muth. We love saying it. We love doing it. And so, like, let's not lose Muth. You know what I mean? Next up, the things I'll be watching for at camp. Shout out to Minkaberg. We got who's running the first team O-line, who emerges as wide receiver 2, slot cornerback battle / who starts while Sutton is suspended, and then JPJ versus Pickens. Low key, I feel like I've already talked about all of these things besides maybe the cornerback room. But, you know, the cornerback room is something like we've always contested, something we've always been talking about. At the end of the day, like, we're gonna get Corey Trice back. We got Joey Porter Jr. We got. I never remember his name, but the guy we traded Deontay Johnson for, I can't think of his name right now. But we also got, like, Darius Rush. Like, we have a real, you know, we have a slept-on cornerback room, just like we have a slept-on wide receiver room. And these guys have a real opportunity to, like, they have a real opportunity to, like, take the next step. They have a real opportunity to cement themselves on the depth chart. And I'm excited to see these two. Like, I'm excited to see how this actually goes. And maybe we go into the season, right? Like, we need a corner. We need a corner. And then, like, once we hit the season, it's like, fam, you know what I'm saying? We need a first-class ticket to the Super Bowl, because we have some studs in this cornerback room, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's going to end up happening. So shout out to Minkaberg for that. Our last couple of things here, something not really having to do with training camp at all. But we have an interaction between Patrick Queen and Minka Fitzpatrick last year. Well, this has been the game last year.
Do something, good. Do something.
Oh, now Patrick Queen is over here. Shout out to Minka Fitzpatrick, our top recruiter, bro. Our top recruiter, Minka Fitzpatrick, bro. Patrick Queen, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler. Minka Fitzpatrick, you are a Pittsburgh Steeler. And Baltimore Ravens, you guys have been relegated back to at least second place, because we are going to win the AFC North, ladies and gentlemen. We took your middle linebacker. He is ours now. And, you know, that's really all I have to say about that. And Le'Veon Bell tweeted this, so, you know, the Steelers everywhere. All I see is Steelers, man, you know? So, I mean, shout out to Patrick Queen. I'm excited to see how he plays, too. I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see, like, a Landon Roberts at that middle linebacker. I'm excited to see Peyton Wilson at that middle linebacker spot. Like, we just have so many things to be excited for, so many players to be excited for. And, you know, it just is what it is. Our last thing that we're going to leave this on, the last tweet I'm going to have up, is this picture of Joe Burrow, right? And why do I have this up? You know, I'm not going to talk about looks. That isn't what this channel is for. I'm not going to talk about looks. But all I will say is, when we had Kenny Pickett and he had, you know, maybe some small hands, when we had Mitchell Trubisky, you know, like, look at Joe Burrow right now, bro, and you expect me to not say anything. Like, you look crazy right now, Mr. Joe Burrow. Like, this looks like a job for me, ass quarterback. I said bag with this pack of zigzags and this bag of this weed, ass quarterback. Like, this is crazy, man. This is nuts. But I mean, hey, you know, you want to lose your aura. You want to just look like Eminem. That's cool. You want to look like Slim Shady. That's cool. At the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win the division. And I don't know. I thought this was kind of funny, so I wanted to talk about it. But anyways, Where we hit at half an hour, man, like I said, it's either you're getting 10 seconds or you're getting 30 minutes, man. It is like that in a lot of phases in my life. With all of that said, that is going to do it for me. So once again, if you guys are excited for this season, if you guys are excited to keep talking about the Steelers, definitely be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more videos. Anyways, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.